Hello, my name is John. My grandkids call me Daddy John. I've got 8 grandkids. Well, anyway, I have been writing stories since I was 9 years old, and I thought since we were all sheltering in that I might dig out some of my stories and put them on YouTube. I saw my granddaughter, 8 years old, Olivia, who read a story on YouTube, and I thought, well, I could do this. I hope you like my stories. I wrote them for my enjoyment, but I also wrote them for my grandchildren to read to their children. So I hope you like them as much as I liked writing them. Thanks. My daddy died when I was just a little boy. But I didn't know the worst because, like my mama said, your grandpa stepped in the breach and took up the slack. Now, I surely know I miss my daddy, but my old grandpa Sam is the best man that ever lived. I think my grandpa is smart like a swamp owl, and he might be just the smartest man around these parts, especially the Green Swamp and the Calabash River, North Carolina. There is one thing I got to tell you about my grandpa. He's an inventor. He invented all sorts of things, and folks around here call him eccentric, which is another word for dreamer, optimist, and a little crazy. The biggest reason some folks who don't really know him call him crazy is because of his rocking chair patch down by the road. Grandpa is growing rocking chairs, not making them like everybody else does. Our neighbors who think he's a little crazy don't listen to him about the reason he's growing rocking chairs instead of making them in his workshop out by his barn. You see, I think he has a good idea. He plants oak tree saplings, fertilizes them real good, and he has this drip garden hose connected to his well that sends water all day through these little black tubes right to each of those saplings and circles the black tube around the baby tree where he has put down a plastic pipe deep in the ground, and the drip tube drips water into that pipe so the water goes deep under the sapling to make the tree put down deep roots. Grandpa says that will make the tree grow faster and the wood to be stronger. Well, everybody who's nobody just won't take time to listen to Grandpa explain his scientific reason for growing rocking chairs instead of manufacturing them by cutting down big old trees that took hundreds of years to grow just to make some old dumb rocking chair. Even though rocking in a good old rocking chair can be mighty nice and relaxing after a hard day playing in the swamp. Grandpa says that all them people who want to cut down the trees to make silly furniture are crackpots and busybodies living in cities all concreted over with no critters to keep them company. No wonder they're cranky. They got their underpants in a wad. That's what my grandpa says, and that sure don't help his reputation among our neighbors. Well, anyway, I like his rocking chair patch and helping him grow his rocking chairs because he's doing the best he can with what God gave him, and I'm sure proud of him for all his ideas he teaches me and all the things he teaches me about nature and animals and hunting and fishing and about people, and that gets me to the story part of this book. When my pa died, Grandpa traveled to Tennessee in his old 49 pickup truck and brought me 2 pups, Biscuit and Gravy, like my brother and sister. I guess he did it so I wouldn't be so lonely. Them pups took to me just like I was one of them and plumb near licked my ears off trying to raise me. Mama said I was more like an old hound dog than a boy, and I'm proud of that. Why, they played with me, even slept in my bed, and I could almost say they knew what I was thinking about. Now, nobody can guarantee you anything, especially a little 6-year-old boy named Johnny. You see, I had already lost my pa when I was 4 years old, and when I was 5, those angels came again and took my mama. Everybody told me they were just too good for living down here on earth. I don't know anything about that, and I sure don't hope that is true, because I wouldn't want to lose Grandpa or Biscuit and Gravy, because if anybody's good here on earth, they sure head the list. Anyway, Grandpa drove his old pick-em-up truck back to Tennessee and got me Biscuit and Gravy and 2 suitcases full of my clothes, pictures of Mama and Daddy, and me and my Lionel train set I got for Christmas last year. Since I lost my parents, the court in Tennessee said I was an orphan, but I don't feel like an orphan because I got Grandpa and Biscuit and Gravy as my best friends. I've never been to North Carolina on the coast of the Atlantic Ocean. We did a heap of driving to get there. Grandpa's farm was right on the Calabash River, where it was deep enough to bring a big boat like Uncle Jimmy's shrimp boat in from the ocean just a few miles away. Uncle Jimmy was Grandpa's son, my Mama's brother, and I like him. His wife, Brenda May, and their sons, Jimmy Jr., Leon, Harvey, Billy, Sam, Moses, and Ezekiel. I like them all. You see, Brenda May got religion in the worst way right before Moses and Ezekiel were born, and there just weren't no changing her mind about those names. I sure wouldn't want to be stuck with names like Moses or Ezekiel in school. I had a lot of respect for those 2 boys and all they have to do to put up with from their classmates. Anyway, I came to live with my grandpa on his farm when I was 6 years old. I started to school that very next September, and I had to ride in a big old yellow school bus to the 1st grade. One of the first friends I made was Mary Lou, one of my neighbors, who lived on the farm next to Grandpa's farm. We got to know each other real good because she was 6 years old, and we sat next to each other on the bus and was in the same 1st grade class. We are both 9 years old now, and we are best of friends. School is out, and we were both promoted to the 4th grade next year. We got all summer to play together. That summer is what my story is about, and I hope you like reading about our adventures as much as I like writing about what we did. Now, look out for chapters 2, 3, and 4. And then after this book, I'm going to publish A Totally Awesome Summer. So let's just get started.